Yeah, I'm going live.
What it is. Every revolution or every political movement or any kind of change, and having someone, okay, CIA, which is fucking for you to call me CIA when you know I'm not.
Everything was politicized. It was, oh, this is when we became the left versus the right. But both sides are trash. In COVID,
his own thing. So it seems to be that money's the issue, that like we're using money and that's how politics is being pushed. Because now we've seen what someone does when they use their own money and it doesn't seem to be a solution. So I feel like we take money out of politics, we'll have a much better political system.
Politician, you think they're gonna come out and tell me the truth? They was lying to my mama. They ain't gonna never tell us.
So everybody, we look at certain things just because, oh, this happens in the hood or we see this every day. All the way up. These people were speaking truth. King, we could talk X, we could talk it all. They were speaking truth.
What's going on in anyone's mind, but let's take it as a given that Gray's argument is true, that the argument to not have ID is that it would be discriminatory versus certain socioeconomic brackets or something. It's like
the world's greatest trial run of what people will do and what people won't do. And we are the only country on the planet that really fought against the government. A lot of it,
usually focus on 80-20 issues. I'm looking at the Epstein issue as we have 80% of the information we need to prosecute these people that actually did anything, but you're focusing on the 20% trying to take down Donald Trump, which you're never going to get. So I'm going to keep sitting here with a smug-ass face on every single day.
I'll explain. Good question. I'll give you the answer. The Republican Party constantly talks about transgenders and transgender surgery to minors.
I'm mostly on the left, ideologically, but I don't associate with the Democrats because they're not ideologically on the left. The Democrats are clowns, and they're also losers.
About to be any engaging conversation. It's not about to be any discourse about different political ideologies, what works and what doesn't. If that is the outcome, right? For example, I'm not gonna go and just put myself in the middle of a KKK rally.
Verify me, I'm not a fucking fed. They always do this. I'll say this, right? And they did the same thing to Nick. We've seen the video. They'll call people who are genuine and authentic feds because
the interesting thing to me is that the ones that claim that they believe the Constitution are now trampling the Constitution. The ones that said they believed in the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, right, are now going against the freedom of speech.
leadership perspective.
They don't have no plan. They don't ever talk about nothing positive about the Democrat Party. Everything is just anti-Trump. They're not willing to have a conversation. They call us fascists. We willing to have a conversation. Charlie Kirk's willing to have a conversation.
Local and federal sources tell ABC News that federal agents shot 2 people in Portland, Oregon. We're learning that the circumstances right now are a little unclear, but the FBI is responding. The agents who shot, we're told, are with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The FBI will be investigating and lead as the lead agency. I want to bring in ABC News' Alex Stone, who is tracking the developments here. And Alex, I recognize that a lot of this is still very, very fluid. But what can you tell us so far?
Yeah, generally, what we know at this point, Alex, is a short time ago, and the FBI is responding right now that they will be the ones investigating this, that it was a shooting involving federal agents from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, not ICE, in the Portland area. And that there was a man and a woman, we're told, who were shot. They are being transported right now. There was a city council meeting that was going on for the Portland City Council. They have abruptly ended that or put that on hold right now. This is all unfolding at this point, but a shooting has occurred, Alex.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
And tonight on the new party, we have a lot to cover. So if you're watching, we appreciate you. Shout out to Doc in the chat. Please hit that like button. Shout out to everybody watching on Instagram. If you want to join the conversation, you can head on over to our YouTube at the new party. Gray, that was the breaking news. Shots fired in Oregon. What's your thoughts?
That's exactly what I was going to bring up if we didn't talk about that. But like I said to you privately, this basically shows you that this is chaotic. This was just the tip of the iceberg. Now it's just going to keep going, and it's a domino effect. And, not to bring race into this, but, a white woman getting shot, I knew it was going to get wild.
And for those of you that normally join us, we will be starting some shows at 7:30. So be on the lookout. Make sure you tap that notification bell so you can know when we go live. Here we go. So the rest of the team has showed up. Hey, Kamal. You're muted still. It's okay. Hey, Mia.
What's up?
Yeah, so we started a little early, guys. It's a lot to cover tonight. So the breaking news was another shooting, this time in Oregon. Mia, what's your thoughts?
I didn't even know there was another shooting, dude. I've been in my basement on this fucking computer. I didn't know there was another shooting.
This time, the Border Patrol has, well, they didn't unalive. They shot a man and a woman. Details are still coming out. But yeah, this is getting weird. What do you think, Kamal?
I mean, I just got the notification really like 10 minutes ago about another shooting that happened.
You said Oregon?
Yeah, it's in Oregon. You feel me?
So it's developing. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Kamal.
No, I'm saying so this shooting just happened. Then there's another shooting of this white woman getting popped by ICE, right?
Yeah, we're going to cover that tonight.
Okay. Damn. Shootings everywhere. God damn.
Shootings everywhere. Almost like a distraction, right? Like that they're trying to distract us, make us angry. So that's the theme of the show tonight. Are the protests? Is everything happening a distraction? Fortunately, due to YouTube censorship, we can't put shootings. So you know what we're talking about when we say protest. Hi, Enzo. Welcome. So the first topic of the night, guys, we got to remind everybody what's been happening to these ICE agents. This has been a buildup. So this is basically describing what's going on.
But I guess I will be that asshole. Y'all can go ahead and unclutch those pearls because you are not the victims and you are definitely not innocent in this.
Hey, Nora,
For months, y'all have been out here objectifying, brutalizing, and degrading these ICE agents. You've been calling them Nazis. You've been calling them animals. You've been calling them murderers. Y'all are the ones that have been out here saying that these people need to lose their lives, that violence against them is justified. You didn't discourage it. You didn't try to walk it back. You amplified it. Y'all have been the ones out here indoctrinating all these people, telling them that these men don't deserve to breathe. So y'all don't get to sit there and act surprised when chaos actually shows up. When a woman uses her vehicle as a weapon, and then a man reacts out of fear that you created, because for months, all he's heard is people like him should be hunted down and killed. Now all of y'all are out here acting like, oh my God, how could have this happened? Hear me clearly when I say this. Fuck you! This just didn't fall out of the sky. This just didn't come out of nowhere. This is what cause and effect looks like. You don't get to sit out here and scream death to them for months, then cry victim when somebody believes you. You don't get to sit here and weaponize mobs, excuse violence, and reward extremists, and wash your hands when reality punches back. Y'all have been the ones out here teaching these people that violence is acceptable. You've been the ones that normalize it. You've been the ones that have been cheering it on. And now that it's ugly, now that it's undeniable, you want sympathy? Hell no. You don't get to light the match and pour the gasoline and dance around the fire and then cry when the flames spread. This is your rhetoric and this is your responsibility. And that woman's blood is on y'all's hands.
Okay, Gray, you, the one on the left tonight. What do you think about what she said? Do you think it was accurate? Do you think it was like, what do you think?
I thought it was emotional. I thought it was just displaced anger. For me, like any job where someone does anything wrong, people go talk about it. The saying always goes that the plane crashes and everybody talks about the plane crash, but no one talks about all the successful landings that a plane does. So anytime anyone does something bad, even if it's law enforcement, it's going to be on the media. Everybody's going to be talking about it everywhere. So to say that people don't have an opinion, they can't say, oh, this is wrong, this is that, I think that's wrong.
Endo, you argue all day long with liberals on literally hours on end with liberals on live. Who is to blame for this violence?
Democratic leadership, Democratic rhetoric, Democrats themselves. This has been 10 years of this rhetoric. This has been 10 years now of the Democrats saying that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. Donald Trump and his MAGA base are domestic terrorists. Donald Trump is a wannabe dictator and his gang of thugs and the Gestapo that he has kidnapping people off the street. That rhetoric literally correlates to everything that has gone on under this second term. All the attacks on ICE since the beginning of the year, I'm simply going to just blame the Democrats. They need to do better. They need to do better about this. They need to stop virtue signaling that they actually care about these people, like Jasmine Crockett was doing today in that hearing. Absolutely disgusting from what they were doing.
And she's not the only one that's hyped up. Gray said emotions. Perfect timing, Gray. I want to play this clip of another person that was very emotional.
Woman just got shot in the fucking face. Not only was she shot in the fucking face trying to... First of all, if any man tries to reach into my car, I'm driving the fuck away. First of all. Second of all, the most agitating part about all of this, our dumb, stupid-ass, fucking orange-ass, retarded-ass fucking president is up on there like, oh, she was trying to run him over. This can't be happening! This can't be happening! And people wonder why I cut off family members for fucking dick riding this fucking retarded ass agency! Dude, anyone with a brain can watch that video! Nobody got run over!
There was no brain activity in this video.
Spreading even more propaganda. This whole entire administration is literally functioning off propaganda. I cannot believe it. And you fucking dumb Trumpy ass bitches are gonna eat that shit the fuck up. And they're gonna go kill 100 more. While you sit there and say, oh, were they legal though? country, bro. Dead ass.
Please, bye.
Crazy.
Bye.
I look
I'll
right
buy your
now.
ticket.
We
I'll
should
help
be
you move
going
right now.
crazy.
Yes. Can we give her the $5,000 that we were giving the undocumented
Turn the
people?
clock in
Like, come on.
tomorrow.
Okay. Mia, you're an independent. What do you think of that crash out? Did the first lady crash out, or did she crash out, or do you think it was both?
Oh my God. I think both of them are definitely very emotional. Both of them are very emotional, regardless. They're both very emotional. But I will say the second one she needs a little bit of Ativan for calming down immediately, and then she needs to be on some Lexapro because nobody should be that turned up about a situation that literally has nothing to do with you. Literally, at the end of the day, you should not be taking situations as personal. She's very clearly white. Immigration and ICE is not coming after her. They're not going to the trailer park to get her. She needs to relax. She ain't got to worry about them coming to the trailer park. She needs to chill. Nobody should be this crazy over a situation that doesn't even concern them at all whatsoever. Whatsoever. She needs to chill. A little bit of Ativan to calm down, a little bit of Lexapro to get her endorphins going on a daily basis. That was very uncalled for.
Well, speaking of needs to chill and including people in their stuff, Kamal, this clip is for you. This guy is trying to include, well, you'll watch and I'll let you react.
It's to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. That's true. The police are supposed to be on our side. Fighting, pointing their guns at the fucking government. It's the facts. It's not
Where do
for
they find these
it's not
people?
for self-defense. It's to protect
Can't make
ourselves
this
from a
up.
tyrannical government. It don't get no worse than this. It don't.
Yep.
What the fuck?
I know that's right.
What the fuck? I have a little baby. I have a little fucking baby, man. And it's like I had to adopt her to protect her from this shit. You put a baby to my gun's head. You put a gun to my baby's head. I'm gonna hurt somebody. That's what they're doing to us. I'm not Hispanic. I'm black.
No, he's not.
Smoking
Shut
my
the
weed,
front
enjoying
door.
my money.
No, he's not.
But I'll die about this shit. I don't have no quality of life left. If you think you do, you're fucking nuts. We don't have no quality of life left. My wife is a documented. She has her work permit. It's legit. She won't go to work because they'll take her still. They're taking people that have documents. They're taking kids. They're doing all. You guys, this is where the world ends. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. They go snatch the president of Venezuela, but our fucking president is a sex offender. Why are we not the White House?
Okay, wait. Kamal, before you respond, shout out to Who Done It TikTok, all love. Make Insane Asylums great again. Guys, we are accepting super chats. So shout out to Shane. Yes, thank you. Shout out to Heaven. Shout out to Mammy, Abel, everyone chilling with us tonight. Please send us that super chat. We have a lot of great things coming in the works. So support the team and send a super chat. But Kamal, people was crashing out. Tariq Nasheed was crashing out. All the black people was crashing out. They said, why you gotta bring black people into this? And is he black? Kamal, is he black? I mean, me and you, we're on the lighter side of things. Who am I to say he's not black? People question my blackness all the time. So I don't know.
First of all, Nora, send me that damn clip. That shit is hilarious. Second of all, Jay from Jay and Silent Bob is not black. I didn't know. I don't know what the fuck going on. What the hell? Jay out here doing goddamn what's it called? The Israelite kind of shit out there speaking like what the hell is bro talking about? Man, hey, I feel more sad because he got a Raider jacket on, man. Shout out to my Raider fans, you feel me? And also let's go back to the other video, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Chris Jericho was scaring me in that video. God damn. I was fucking terrified. I was like, damn, she about to put the walls of Jericho on motherfuckers. But anyway, no, that guy ain't black. And yeah, we got a point. Why you dragging us in it, man? God damn, man. Goodness gracious, bro. Like, come on, bro. We clearly know that you white, bro. Hell, you say you're a $5 Indian. Fuck it. Hey, shit. Why not do that? And I'm black, bro.
I feel like they
Damn, who said
want
that?
Black Americans to be in this so badly, and that
Yes.
they're upset that we're not in it. So many people get upset that I don't care. They're like, well, what's going on with ICE? I don't care.
Well, did you hear what
I
they're
don't
doing?
care.
I made a short about it, and it's hopefully it takes off, guys. I got a few views already. It's like 3 hours ago, and they're saying say her name. That belonged to Breonna Taylor and Sandra Bland. Why are we saying say her name?
They're
I am
saying say
offended.
her name.
Yes, I gotta get
hold
that
on.
clip.
Wait, time out. Hold on. Okay, so they want to say our sayings. I got a saying that they say to us.
What?
Why she didn't comply? God damn! Just
Do the
comply.
sound effect. That was
Oh,
a
which
bomb
one?
right there.
I got plenty
The
of
bomb.
them. God
Why
damn!
didn't she comply?
I don't know. Shit.
Well, you know
Enzo
what's
said Dems are broke and have brain damage. Enzo, come on now. They making this a race thing.
Shout out
They
Enzo.
pulling the race card. Why do people care now? Is it because she's a YT woman, Enzo? Like we talked about this privately. Like, why do people care now?
So this is what I said about it. And I've been asking people on my panel list that come up there that are crashing out about this entire situation. I go, so why do we care about this so much? They're like, well, because it's ICE. And I go, okay, cool. So when a police officer unalives a white person, which I looked at the stats, white people are 3 times more likely to be killed by a cop than any other race. When was the last time you ever heard anybody take to the streets the way that they are for white people getting unalived by cops?
Never.
My point exactly. So, like I say to everybody, if you can't see agenda written all over this entire thing, you're part of the problem and you're what's feeding into these situations that are going on. This is absolutely blown out of proportion. And none of it makes any sense at all because the person that was unalive is not even from Minnesota. Her
Well, they
partner-
claim that why are they saying that she lived on the block? They keep
didn't,
saying that
no.
because I got into an argument today with
She's
someone.
from Colorado.
So why are they saying that? They said she lived on the block.
I don't know.
Well, you know what's crazy too is I feel like another component to this that gives me like false flag agenda vibes is not only is she like a paid agitator at this point in time, it's Wednesday, noon time. Why are you not at work? You have kids, obviously you have a job. What are you doing on a Wednesday? Why are you not at work? Why are you out and about in the street? So clearly you're
With
being
your
paid.
wife.
Right.
With your wife.
And then your wife
Where's
is
the kid?
recording. And then also to add like another layer to this, they're part of the alphabet soup. So that adds a secondary layer to this. So that's another reason why people are upset as well, because they're part of the alphabet community. And for me, the whole thing it screams setup. It screams very convenient. It screams Minnesota's been having a lot of problems with fraud and a lot of them are going to start getting arrested. And there's so much going on there. And now, like, Tim Walz had to drop out. People have been saying stuff about Jacob Frey. It's like all these people, and there's all these moving parts in Minnesota alone. I mean, a lot of these people are being called in front of the oversight committee in Congress. And I'm literally watching it on C-SPAN. And then now conveniently they get to step in and be the good guys because somebody got unalived. It just seems all very convenient.
Yep.
And you know what's crazy is I was on a panel earlier and they're like, it was very interesting because they talked about Ashley Babbitt, she should have obeyed, but this woman, Nicole, doesn't need to obey. So I don't understand. Are we obeying or not? Because the first thing they said about Ashley Babbitt is she should have obeyed. Okay, fair. She should have. She should have, obviously. So now we're at Nicole. She was very clearly told by those officers, the one right next to her door, right next to her window, get out of the car. Why did she not
had
obey?
his hand on the door. We're gonna play. I'm gonna play
Right.
that.
So I mean, it's an obey thing. So if you're saying Ashley Babbitt had to obey and she got what she got because she didn't, why is Nicole special? Is it because she's a paid agitator through Soros? Like, why is she more special?
Well,
that's my
yeah,
question.
We're going to get to that. It's a lot to cover tonight. It really, really is, guys. If you're watching, please hit the like button. All right. So I don't think everyone has seen the video, nor have they probably seen it broken down. This is Tim Pool. He does a pretty good assessment. He's one of my least favorite people, but I like what he did with this. I'm going to play it now.
said that I believed she wasn't intending to hit the officer and was trying to flee, but still put the officer in fear of harm. No, I've changed my mind. I'm going to show you the slowed down footage that I believe proves this woman was intending to kill that ICE agent. Watch the officer who has his gun drawn. Look at his feet right here in the back left. Let me make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. As I pull this forward, notice his feet both slide backwards. You see his foot sliding? Yeah, he's not taking a step. He's being hit by the vehicle. Now I can already hear you saying, hold on, Tim. If you're up against a vehicle and it accelerates and it pushes you out of the way, that doesn't warrant shooting somebody. Agreed. Let's go back to the lie. Here's the officer. Here's the vehicle reversing. The officer is not in front of the vehicle. She reverses, and now he is in front of the vehicle. He initially is to the right of the vehicle. By all means, argue he should not have placed himself in this position. We're talking about seconds. Now watch this. The vehicle stops here. The wheels are pointed left. As you can see, the officer is standing right in front of the vehicle. Now watch this. Right there. You see the front tire? Watch the front tire right here. The wheels are pointed left, and she accelerates. The wheel spins out on ice. Then, with the wheels pointed at the officer, having spun out already, meaning the officer can hear the engine rev with it pointed at him, he draws his weapon. And in a second, because this is slow mode, she then begins to turn right, hitting him, and he shoots. I want to stress this again. Her front tire on her SUV is spinning out on the ice. You can see it right there. It spins on the ground. It slips. The officer, who was not standing in front of the vehicle before she backed up and pointed at him, and then accelerates with her tires spinning out, and then moving forward, he draws his weapon, and then the wheel turns to the right. Now, of course, people have said, oh, like, she only tried to turn right after the gun was drawn. Maybe, but I'll put it like this. I don't know what her intentions were, and it's immaterial what her intentions were. But look at this. The tire spinning out and slipping on the ice before stopping. There are 2 points that I think are important. Were it not for the ice, which you can see on the ground, the vehicle would have just lurched forward, run this guy over. Seriously.
Okay, guys, before we respond, we have over 300 people on the live right now. If you guys can please hit the like button, support the live. Yeah, so Gray, my man, you hosted last night and you did a deep dive. You didn't get to really give your opinion on this. I really don't even know how you feel, and we talk every day. What do you think? Was this justified, unjustified? What's your thoughts?
Well, since you want to talk about that, let's talk about real life. Weren't you standing there when the people pulled the strap on me in Orlando?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So
let's talk about
go
that.
to the real. No, let's go to the real. So it's the reputation of people. I'm in Orlando. I'm riding clean, stunned. Cop pulls me over. The first guy is cool. We laughing. Then a lady pull up. She doesn't even say anything. She just gets out of the car and pulls a strap. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I'm hot. But of course, I have to be cool and just like, hey, lady, I just got my car out of the whatever it's called, the place. And I don't want any issues. Like, what's the problem? So, like, law enforcement has a bad reputation, whether it's ICE, whether it's whatever. People are going to say.
Wait, no, let's tell the rest of the story. At the time, your car smelled very loud. Let's talk about that.
No, that's not true.
Your car smelled very loud, so that was part of it. But
just like a bag of Republicans. Just like a bag of Republicans.
I gotta side with Gray. How dare you?
I am. Moment you said I'm ex-military. I just got out the military. They said they stood down and they gave you a warning. They even arrested you.
That's not what happened.
So they love law enforcement.
That's not what happened. And this is what I'm talking about. They call it the blue wall, whatever they call it. Because me and the other guy, he was like, oh, you do music? This is that. We're like laughing, joking around. And then she came up and just changed the entire energy. And the issue. Cops don't tell on cops, just like the streets. The streets, people don't tell on each other. So it's just like, was he wrong? Was he not wrong? I'm not a proponent of a person getting in trouble for doing their job. You're just trying to work, no matter if I'm on the left or not. I don't want to be in a position where I'm in my job and I was in the military and I go to prison just because I joined the military. So, but I don't want to get into all the particulars and say, oh, okay, the tire went this way and she missed that. That's for forensics, and I'll wait to what the case says. And I feel like that's what we should be doing in America. Wait to what they say in court.
Nah, we're not doing that. You got one or two options right now in America. You
I
go out
agree and
there-
disagree. I'm not gonna lie.
I hear you. You go out there, you're gonna go tear stuff up, or you can peacefully protest. I'm all for peacefully. So far, they've been peaceful. I will give them that. Or you stand 10 toes down and you say, I'm standing with law enforcement. I'm standing with the ICE agents. That's where we're at right now. Or you just be like, come on, stay out of everything.
Man, you stay home. You catch no federal charges. You pay your mortgage. You eat healthy. It's 2026. We got a new food pyramid, baby. You stay home. Anybody
You
who's
have me
watching
cracking
this,
up, Mia.
don't go outside, okay? Don't get shot over stupid. Stay home, pay your bills, and eat healthy. That's what
You
we're
have me
doing in
cracking up this morning.
2026.
When you were on that panel, you're like, I'm getting my whole worth of my mortgage. I'm staying home.
That's what I'm saying. My electricity bill's over $200. I'm got my lights
damn.
on. I'm enjoying it. I'm not going nowhere. It's 10 degrees outside. Again, I'm not going anywhere. I'm sitting here and I'm enjoying it. The feds ain't gonna get me. You know why? Because I'm gonna be home.
But Gray, you had it in slow mo. That's a good point. Stop. Don't ride the fence on this. You could say you stand with the lady. You could say you feel bad for her. Was it unjustified?
Well, anytime someone is killed by the police, the government, of course, I feel like it's unjustified. But you're trying to pigeonhole me into something where I'm going like, okay, I'm not going to say she was wrong or what she was right. If he goes to court and they say, hey, this was self-defense, then he gets to beat the charge. That's the way we go with the laws, whether I believe he did it or not. So I'm not going to just say, hey, yes, I'm definitely for this lady. I don't feel like J.D. Vance should have came out. I don't know if you're going to play that and say what he said. I don't feel like Trump should have said what they said. They're the executive.
Yeah, you know what? I will play a speech from a politician now. You've inspired me.
Have determined the character of a 37-year-old mom that they didn't even don't know. They've determined that the actions are done. I don't know. I've not used inflammatory terms of what happened. I've asked us to find the answers. The only way we find the answers is a thorough investigation. I don't have a predetermined notion. Yes, I saw the video. Yes, I saw that.
Sounds
but
just
a thorough
like you,
investigation
Gray.
will see what happened before that. It will take
You got
all
the
factors in,
points.
and it will come
But
up
at
with
least
a
Gray don't
fair and
contradict
just
himself when you send me
conclusion.
those.
And we will accept that. Very, very difficult for Minnesotans to think in any way this is going to be fair when Kristi Noem was judge, jury, and basically executioner yesterday. That's very, very difficult to think that they were going to be fair.
Ooh, so Kamal, people are basically saying, like you heard the talking points from the Democrats tonight. So people are basically saying, wait, do you have an opinion, or are you saying wait for everything to come out? What more do you want to see? Like, what more do you think you would need to see at this point?
Should have just complied. I mean, shit. If that cop Sonia Massey, RP, our black sister, got self-defense, well, damn it, this cop should get self-defense too. I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn. I seen enough. She was using that vehicle as a goddamn weapon. As a damn weapon. Should have just complied. I'm just saying.
So did he get off? The guy with Sonia Massey, he got off? He got off, right?
No.
Nope.
He was
I
found
don't know if
guilty.
he got off or not, but they're claiming self-defense.
I'm pretty sure he was charged, wasn't he?
Let me
But
check.
I think can you look up the results of the
Yeah.
trial? I think it recently happened.
Was it Tanya Massey, right?
Yeah.
Massey.
Sonia.
Sonia Massey, yeah.
But keep going, Kamal. Sorry, I just was curious if he got off, if he was guilty.
Nah, I don't need to go anymore. Shit, they should have complied. They tell us that all the goddamn time. Just comply. You be all
Yeah,
right.
it says Sean Grayson found guilty of murder in the death of Sonia
Okay.
Massey. So they convicted him of murder.
So we don't know. I mean, from what I mean, they haven't charged this guy yet, but the pressure is on from everyone. They claim they've seen all the angles. They say that they still think it's justified. But I want to play this clip, guys, because there was a witness, and this is important.
They wanted her out of there because she was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving behind her, but she was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do, and so they wanted to get her the hell out of there. Yeah.
So it looked like she was impeding ICE vehicles.
Definitely, yeah, okay. That was her goal.
Definitely impeding ICE vehicles. Definitely.
That's what she was doing?
Yes, she was. So basically, Enzo, correct me because I know you researched this. Enzo, you actually go ahead and say what you found out, because
so from what I found out is that she was, like they said, a part of a bigger protest. They were blocking a one-way street. That's the only direction they could go is to go straight. So she was blocking a one-way street. She was supposedly there's eyewitnesses saying before that video started, the officers told her to leave. She didn't leave. So what did the officer do? Okay, cool. Get the fuck out of the vehicle then. Then that's when she puts it in drive, hits the ICE officer. And unfortunately, sorry to say, you fuck around enough, you're going to find out. You hit an ICE officer. Regardless if people think that this is the new thing that everyone wants to say, well, they're not police officers. They're federal officers. They have jurisdiction on the American people. You're obstructing. You're obstructing an ICE proceeding. You're going to get charged with obstruction. They can pull you out of a vehicle and detain you for that and charge you for obstruction. There's nothing wrong that the ICE officer did. And this is the same ICE officer that was dragged 6 months ago by somebody fleeing a scene and had to get 32 stitches. The same exact ICE officer. He was walking around. There's like 3 angles. You have the front angle, which you see the officer walking around the vehicle when she starts turning in his direction. So it's not like he placed himself in that position, because that is against police protocol. You're not supposed to put yourself in front of a moving vehicle. He was walking around to the other side, and that's when she put her foot on the gas.
Not just that, they were throwing stuff at them. There was stuff going on that's not on the camera. And I was talking to someone today, and I was like, that's not how it went. There was a lead up to this. This didn't just happen out of nowhere. And I don't know. That's important to note, though. Mia, what's your thoughts? What have you heard?
And I've heard so much stuff that can't always be substantiated. So I heard that she was from Colorado and drove here. I heard that allegedly there is an open CPS case against her wife for physically harming the children in the home, aka cigarette burns to the arm. I heard that from a semi-reliable source, so I'm not sure that has not been substantiated. But I will say that obviously, I went to the No Kings protest in my own state, and these people are definitely paid. They're in massive group chats. You arrive there and there are tons of signs everywhere. It's very coordinated. I mean, this is what a lot of these people do for a living. So, I mean, she was clearly there to... I'm not saying she was there to incite violence, but I'm definitely saying she was being paid. It was very coordinated. There were people, her own wife was videographing everything. So I don't know. It just seems like a bad situation for everybody.
Kimberly, I know when we first met you, you said that you're active, you go to protests. What are your thoughts on the allegations of these being paid protesters, and what do you think about everything? Because I thank you for coming. I know you're just joining us, so you can give us your opinion.
I'm not an activist. I don't go. Thank you for having me, guys. Sorry, I hit a lot of traffic, and I've been awake since 4 a.m. But I wouldn't call myself an activist. I don't protest too much. I do what I can. I did go to the first No Kings. The second No Kings I didn't go to. Those are more weird and silly. I actually agree. Both sides will do a lot of these coordinated agitators, paid actors. It happens all the time. So I do get what Mia is saying. I'm not sure what she's saying in response to. But I mean, that's true. both parties do that.
So, do you have an opinion about what happened in Minnesota?
They shot and killed and murdered the Renee lady?
Yeah, Renee lady. Renee Good. Yeah.
That was an excessive use of force. And that have they determined if that officer, what branch he's in? The ICE officer? I'm not sure
I
if they
don't
determined that, but he should be
know.
held accountable. That
Well,
was
what
excessive.
was revealed today by Vice President Vice President Vance,
What?
sorry, Vice President Vance said today that this was not the first incident with this officer. A few months ago, another incident, he was dragged hundreds of feet, and I think it was on tape. I didn't find it yet though, because it just came out. But anyways, so basically, he might have PTSD from this. For months, people have been flicking with the ICE agents. People have been throwing stuff at them, spitting in their face, calling them Nazis, calling them all sorts of names.
Mhm.
So that's, anyways, I say all that to say that this has been a buildup for these guys.
Well, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because the ICE agents, the Border Patrol, they're also way out of hand. They're pretty tyrannical, in my opinion. I think there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. And if you want to see how to do things in the wrong way, you look at what ICE and what Border Patrol and what they're doing now.
So do you have any videos of them doing something like out of nowhere, or is there always a buildup? Because every action has a reaction.
They're intentionally terrorizing communities. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are looking at the same videos I'm looking at, but I don't say that rudely, but they are intentionally, they're doing it to deter further illegal immigration, which is working. They have deterred further illegal immigration. But they do show up a lot of times unannounced. They show up without any identification. They show up without any warrants. And we've seen the videos. They attacked a pregnant lady. They attacked that older man that owned the business. So yeah, even if you were to look at just the police in general, they're not as many instances with police as there have been with immigration and ICE and Border Patrol. And it is intentionally like that. They have been given orders to just do what they're supposed to do to carry it out as in the most heinous and terroristic way possible. At the same time, I will also concede that a lot of times citizens, not just in protests or in public spaces, will instigate, agitate. It's always a case-by-case basis when it comes to the police, police brutality. Like, for example, I've heard that with the Renee lady, a lot of people are saying, well, she shouldn't have driven off like that because he was afraid that he was going to get trampled over. I don't agree with that. In that instance, I personally, I wouldn't ever put myself in a situation like that. I'm not sure if she was just driving away from home. Do we know that yet? Or
Enzo feels pretty confident. I've heard this as well, that she didn't live there. She came from Colorado.
She's not from Minnesota, yeah.
Okay.
She's from Colorado. Her car was registered in Missouri. She has no
And
ties
before-
to Minnesota whatsoever.
She had no business being there, right?
None.
Well, other than she was a protester told to be there in a caravan of protesters where they were told to go block the road. And an eyewitness admitted that she was a protester there blocking the road.
Mm-hmm.
And then what Kyle Rittenhouse did went overstayed.
I don't let me be clear. I do not.
Kyle Rittenhouse was attacked though.
I don't support Kyle Rittenhouse. I think he's a criminal. I know I'm gonna lose people and I don't give a damn. I think he's a criminal and I think he deserves to be in prison. He did not deserve, he had no business being there too. I'm consistent. Just like she had no business being there.
Okay. So I wouldn't personally put myself in a situation like that. I think with the police, and well, at least me, I wouldn't intentionally put myself in a position like that or drive away. I do what they say. Yeah. Even though I don't necessarily like the police, right? But she still didn't deserve to die. Nobody deserves to die. And what really about this whole situation, what I've really just noticed is that it is really partisan. Because if the roles were flipped, if this was a capital city police officer who did something similar to a January 6th rider, it would be completely flipped because we see everything through a tribal lens. Or even this, because this woman was, I'm 33, she's 37, she's a mom, I'm a mom. What if that would have been me, right? What if I was just driving away from home and sometimes, like I've told a police officer bad stuff sometimes because they disrespected me. And if you disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the police. I don't care if you're my mom, or I don't care if you're the Pope, right? So let's say if I felt threatened, because it does look like she was trying to get away. What if that had been me? Like, what if I'd been shot like that and died? Would I have deserved it? Maybe if you guys see a more like personal human connection to it, that's how, like, instead of looking at it through like a partisan point of view, if that were me, if I bled to death and was denied access to a physician or some type of help right there, would we still be saying the same thing?
But they pissed off with you. They said they reported the channel for misinformation. Sorry.
I'll be real. I'm not looking at it through a partisan lens. If she complied, she'd be alive. That's her fault for not complying.
Okay, so if I were there and I wouldn't have complied and I would have been murdered,
It's your fault. That's on you.
That's horrible.
Sorry. If a cop gives you a lawful order, you're supposed to argue that in court, not in the street. Shut up, take the ride, go down there, file your habeas corpus claims, file your civil rights claim. Take it to the court. Don't take it to the street.
Yeah, that's too much power to the police. So there's also
that's how you hold them accountable. That's
Okay.
how you hold them accountable. You hold them accountable in a court of law, not in the court of the street. Because at the end of the day, the street is never going to win. Statistically, the streets never win compared to the courts.
Well, the civil rights movement would say otherwise. But when it comes to police immunity, that's a whole other case right there. I have a really good book that I could refer to you guys. It's called Propaganda. It mostly emphasizes the propaganda that they have through the police, but it also talks about just like statistics and police brutality and how the roles are flipped. The police are supposed to protect us, but they really only protect the state. But I disagree because, like I said, if it would have been, maybe if it wasn't me in that point of view, but if it were a January 6th rider and a Capitol Police would have used excessive force,
They did.
in that way,
Ashley
not
Babbitt.
right, but in a more obvious way like this on camera, where there was that one girl that was unfortunately murdered that day, but the roles would be flipped. They would have, depending on what partisan point of view, what partisan lens you're looking at it, it's always a tribalistic view, and it should be consistent. Nobody deserves to die like that.
Yeah. So we're going to switch gears here, guys, because there's a lot to cover tonight. So I appreciate Kimberly for actually giving an opinion, unlike Gray, and holding it down for the left tonight. Because, we got to have.
I don't say what you want me to say. And
stand on business.
exactly
No, I
what
want
I'm
you to
gonna
get stand
Coming
on
from me is
business.
crazy in the chat.
Can we ask
standing
the guy what the misinformation was?
Yeah, tell us in the chat what the misinformation is. But we're going to
Hey,
switch
trolls.
gears to another part of the story. The other part of the story is, Kamal, play the X-Files music.
Oh shit! Hold on. Let me find it real quick.
I gotta put my
You
hand
said
on.
the X-Files music, right? You ready?
Yes. Okay, guys. The other part of this story is right now, Tim Walz is under investigation, him and his administration, for massive fraud. Okay. And he just resigned at the start of this week. God, it feels like it's been weeks. He just resigned. And now they're starting to have hearings regarding his fraud. What a coincidence. Another shooting in the same place we saw the Summer of Love. Let me remind everyone what the Summer of Love looked like. This was Minneapolis after the George Floyd riots. Coincidentally, the same place this is happening.
I think they said it was like a mile away where George Floyd was murdered.
That's a good fact to know. So yeah, this is just a reminder of, and Tim Walz was the mayor at the time, or the governor, sorry. And so, you know, oddly enough, and then let me show everyone what's going on with the investigations right now.
Chairman Comer for holding this important hearing. As I said on Monday, good riddance to Governor Walz, but he cannot escape accountability for the estimated $9 billion in fraud. How did this happen? And where the hell has the Twin Cities media been? The Star Tribune is complicit. They have had this story for years, if you just heard, and they've refused to report anything on it. In fact, they continue to try and cover up. Our Minnesota Republican colleagues have demanded answers and accountability for years, but have seen nothing from Walz, his administration, our Democrat colleagues like Tina Smith, Amy Klobuchar, Ilhan Omar, and Angie Craig, or the worthless Star Tribune. Thank God for President Donald J. Trump for finally bringing attention to this issue. Representative Rarick, I'm going to begin with you. You've been working on this issue for years. You've spoken to the whistleblowers personally. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You have an understanding that 1,000 whistleblowers running an account on X have come forward to expose fraud in Minnesota state agencies, and they have been entirely ignored by Tim Walz and have even been retaliated against. Is that accurate?
That is correct. Even this morning, I got another message.
Well, in your experience, are their claims credible or are they politically motivated against Walz?
They are completely credible, not politically motivated.
In fact, many of these are Walz administration employees, correct?
They are actually Democrats as well.
Can you quickly give us one example of the retaliation these folks have been facing?
Yes, I can. In my opening statement, I mentioned that the most severe ones was that they would be fired with cause, so they couldn't have unemployment insurance, that they would be blacklisted from all state agencies, and I would bet that it's also Hennepin County and Ramsey County, as you know, those are Democrat-run, and much, much more.
Based on what you've learned, Representative, over the last several years, do you have any doubt that Governor Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
He absolutely knew that it was occurring.
Thank you. The Housing Stability Services Program was estimated to cost about $2.6 million per year, but before it was shut down last October, it was on track to run about $122 million in 2025. In fact, I think they sucked $161 million out of it from the point it started in 2020 until it was finally shut down. Isn't that correct?
That is correct, and Joe Thompson believes that 90% of that was fraud.
Yeah. The Quality Leering Center, as uncovered by Nick Shirley, received almost $10 million in funding. Is that accurate?
I believe it is.
There are more than 80 autism centers in Minnesota under investigation. Is that true?
I believe it is, yes.
It's clear that someone is criminally complicit. You can't just let this amount of money get out of your administration over a period of 7 years without knowing. There was a hearing in the state regarding the fraudulent housing stabilization program, but before that hearing, Governor Walz fired the official who was slated to testify so that they could not testify and expose what was happening under Governor Walz's watch. Has Governor Walz or Attorney General Ellison fired anyone else to your knowledge, Representative?
Not to my knowledge, and that was Eric Rumdahl, and his administration believes that he was not fired, but I say he was fired because it was too convenient.
Right. Representative Hudson, is it true that 90% of the individuals charged, regardless of what your colleague on the panel just said with his facts and figures, 90% of the individuals charged or indicted with the $250 million Feeding Our Future COVID fraud are of Somali descent?
I believe that to be correct.
Are you aware that in a 2021 video, Mr. Ellison promised that he would obstruct his own agencies in their investigation of Somali fraud?
I am very much aware of that.
It's no wonder that criminals in the Somali community felt they were free to steal taxpayer dollars. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Marion. Do you have any doubt that Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
None whatsoever.
That's a good
Walz
joke.
and Ellison were protecting fraudsters instead of investigating them, and it was purposeful. And it's no coincidence that this is occurring largely in the Somali community. Walz made a sanctuary state Minnesota a sanctuary state. He gave free health care, free college, and free licenses to illegals. And Walz looked the other way when Somali immigrants were stealing. Representative Robbins, do you have any doubt that Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
None whatsoever.
So all three of you have no doubt in your minds that Tim Walz knew about the $9 billion of fraud during his tenure as governor and did nothing about it. It looks like my time is about to expire, and I do want to say to all of you, on behalf of Minnesota, thank you for being here, and justice will be served.
Kamal, sound effects, drop the bombs. But anyways, God.
Hold on. You said the bombs or the air horn
bombs.
shit? Oh, the bombs? Do I got bombs? I don't got bombs, but I got this. That's close enough.
There you go. So, Omir asked, where is this available? I didn't make this up. This is a real thing. But the funny thing is, you can find the video of this woman being unalived in the car, but you can't find this nowhere because they don't want you to find it. And that's the point of all of this going on. Mia, what's your thoughts? This isn't a fake video. I didn't make it up. It's real. It's clearly happened. And he clearly is, they clearly are testifying that Tim Walz knew about all this fraud.
Tim had on. I said Tim had on. My bad, Tim. Tin hat activated. Yeah, it's really convenient that all of these things are happening simultaneously right after all of that fraud and the Democrats in Minnesota are taking it out. I mean, Amy Klobuchar hasn't even announced, to my knowledge, that she's even taking up the governorship mantle in his wake. So right now they don't even have someone as a real contender to take over the governorship there as of yet, because I don't think Amy's announced yet. But I mean, it's just interesting that all this fraud happens. They're uncovering more. It's gone to Ohio now with the Somalis there. It's in my home state of Maine with the Somalis there. They're like kicking. I mean, it's crazy. It's very deep. It's crazy happening. And then all of a sudden now we have shootings here. We have shootings there. And nobody's talking about billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of fraud that everybody was talking about and everybody was invested in, and now nobody's talking about it. I don't know, man. Oh my God, Tim Walz needs to be in prison with P. Diddy. There's not enough oil. There's not enough baby oil in the world for them to be together.
Did somebody say Tim Walz is the best governor in the country?
Yeah. It's definitely Gavin Newsom.
The best
definitely.
What the fuck?
Governor.
Y'all need to have schedule your head
funny.
scans.
I'm being funny.
Okay, I was gonna say.
So this is another
Can
video.
I read something real quick?
Go ahead.
Because for y'all that know, I do grant writing and shit too, and the funding strategist and all that. So the Learning Center, aka the Learning Center, is a nonprofit. The daycare is a fucking nonprofit, right? So I just researched. I was like, damn. So when you get federal grants, do governors know about federal grants? Look what I found out. Yes, governors are generally aware of nonprofits in their states receiving federal fucking grants. There you go. Okay?
Yeah, you actually can look up.
Yep.
I know how to do it in California, but you could look up, I think it's a 98C form. I used to sue nonprofit organizations all the time. And you can see exactly how much money they've been awarded and who signed off on it and everything.
Really? Well, then he definitely knew. But this is the other clip of the hearing from yesterday.
Representative Robbins, do you have any examples of how the Walz administration blocked investigators from moving forward with high priority fraud investigations?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chairman. I've met with whistleblowers and gotten documents from them about how after the original CCAP whistleblower report came out in March and April of 2019, subsequent to that, there was an Office of Inspector General within DHS that had investigative authority to do surveillance, warrants, and seize electronics, and they were shut down. They were told they could no longer do criminal investigations. They were told they could no longer meet with the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension agents that were assigned to them without supervisor's approval. And instead, when they found one of the other members talked about how they changed the language. They went from calling it fraud to calling it overbilling. And they created an overbilling committee to all the investigative agents now couldn't do criminal investigations, and they had to flag issue overbilling, and then a committee would decide if any of that overbilling would be recouped.
Committee by appointed by Waltz?
No, appointed within DHS.
Oh, appointed by the own bureaucracy.
Yes, so they shut down criminal investigations. They created a committee to call it overbilling and decide if overbilling investigations would even try to recoup
this
the money.
is evidence that Tim Waltz.
It sounds to me like Tim Walz was directly involved here. Let me know your thoughts on this. Please like and share.
So great. Let us know your thoughts on that. You're the Democrat, blue no matter who guy. Would you be voting for Tim Walz had he not dropped out the race and you lived in Minnesota?
First off, I would never live in Minnesota. Nextly, as far as like to the tinfoil hats and to the MAGA people, which one's a distraction? Is this a distraction with the Somalis? Is the ICE attackers distraction? That's why I'm always a proponent of let's figure out, let's let the police do their job. No, with what Tim Waltz has going on, already he dropped out the race. He should have put himself in there. But somebody said in the comment, oh, they all go to country clubs together. Nobody's going to be charged. I don't think Tim Waltz is going to be charged. I think this is just going to be another political media scandal. And then it's just going to be on to the next one. That's what I think.
Wow. Kamal, what do you think? If you lived in Minnesota, should he have resigned? Or were you okay with him just dropping out the race?
Shit, it didn't really matter to me. We just finding out, that he was he knew about the fraud, man. And he dropping out. Hey, he should get jail time alongside with that ugly crocodile face broad Amy Bach. Y'all probably don't even know who know who Amy Bach is?
I've heard the name.
No.
She's supposed to be like the ringleader of like the whole Somalian gangs of fraud in Minnesota. You feel me? And I hate to say it, Enzo, man, she's white, man. It's crazy, bruh. It's crazy. I'm like,
I'm the resident
God.
white man. I'm pulling out the white card tonight, and I'm clowning on white people all fucking night. Straight up.
Man, so Amy Bach, you feel me? She's supposed to be like the ringleader and kind of helped out with the nonprofits to do the frauding in Minnesota. But as we see it, man, them big head Somalians, they're gonna be the ones that get take the fall for this shit. That's what's happening. You feel me? And Tim Waltz resigning. All this showed me is he like, it's getting too hot in the kitchen. I gotta get the fuck out of here. He doing a severance package right now. He's trying to figure out how he could get out of here so he could go to like one of them islands in the Caribbean or somewhere in fucking Mexico and eat and drink some pina coladas with his wife or some shit. He getting out of Dodge after taking the Minnesota, actually taking all our taxpayer dollars, to be honest. You feel me? This fraud is affecting all our taxpayer dollars because I will tell y'all this. Once these motherfuckers tax you and your tax dollars go out, you ain't got no say where that shit go.
True.
So, yeah. So if I was in Minnesota, I think I'd be more mad about the fucking Vikings than Tim Waltz resigning, to be honest.
Damn, people mad. No, it's to distract you from the files of the PDF Orange Man.
Oh, shut up!
Bro.
Oh boy, it's the Epstein files.
Listen.
He should resign.
Ain't nothing gonna happen to anybody in that list. If it came out that Donald Trump's in that list, even if a fucking Democrat administration comes in 28, they still not prosecuting anybody.
No.
Y'all don't care about it.
No.
I care about the Epstein list. I do want to say I condemn all fraud and he should resign. And I just want to point out, can you guys still see me?
No.
Or can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay, so I think back in May 2025, I would like all of my MAGA friends to be consistent on this term of fraud. Donald Trump pardoned this guy named Lawrence Duran, and he was convicted of $150 million, I believe, of healthcare fraud. So it's not consistent. He shouldn't have pardoned this guy. I do agree that taxpayer dollars are important. It takes away from the American working class. Everybody involved, everybody who was aware, or even if they turned a blind eye, should be held accountable, and Tim Waltz should resign. But again, I think this is one of those issues, again, like every fucking issue is a partisan issue, and we should be able to look at things principally and consistently.
Hold on, can I ask you a question? And I'm about to be silly with this shit, but I don't give a damn. Y'all think Biden and Tim Walz go to the same barber to get their hair cut?
Maybe. Possibly. He was the running for VP. Yeah.
God damn.
I'll say this. I believe that these people pardon people for favors and for information. Information is like currency in this world. So I'm not saying it's right that he pardoned him, and I'm not defending it, but we don't know what he could have told Trump, shared Trump, gave to Trump for him to do that. And that's what I believe. Or maybe money. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not just money, but I think he could have been pardoning him to get information for something. That's what I think.
So was this all happening while Tim Walz was running for vice president?
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe he wasn't aware. Maybe he was busy because when Kamal said,
Oh my God.
He was actually already involved
Well,
in
let
a
me say this.
healthcare scandal. Shama Sawant did a really good piece on it. Because of course, as soon as whoever Kamala Harris picks, you just have to automatically assume they're not going to be like good people. So, but Shama Sawant did do a really good piece and did a deep dive on Tim Walz, and he'd actually already been involved with some type of like, it was actually healthcare like mishandling or fraud. And he also was, I think, negotiating some type of like healthcare worker. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he let the workers down as well. So he's not like a working class hero either.
Because here's the thing: if I was Tim Walz, I would have had a private jet. I would have had a Wraith. I would have been pulling up to the DNC.
That's making it obvious.
That's too obvious. You're not that dumb to be that overt. Come on. That's too obvious.
He too old.
Ain't nobody that stupid besides Somalians rolling around in a Rolls Royce, pulling up to their fucking lyric center in a Rolls Royce. Only Somalians do that.
He
The
got
rest
up
of
to-
us have a little
Somali
bit
dude.
more intelligence.
He
What
got
about
up
the
to
Somalian
VP,
dude?
like at least VP candidate. So maybe that's what he wanted.
Like I said, the Somalian dude doing the interview saying they broke it they broke into the daycare, they stole all the documents of all the kids, didn't take the
nothing
money,
else.
didn't take anything, while wearing $2,000 fucking chrome heart shades.
Hey,
Really?
can I
You
say
running a
something?
daycare wearing those, bro?
Can I say something real quick? Great. That's hella funny you say that shit because, you know, Tim Walz didn't do that, but like what Enzo said, the Somalian bro did that shit. But also Amy Bach did that shit too. She bought a Porsche. She had a Gucci bag, a Louis bag, all types of shit, flaunting all the goddamn money that they done scammed from Minnesota.
Yeah,
At
for
least some
sure.
smart laundering. Have a legit source to show that you could get that.
But I feel like the governor's just not caught. Like Kamal, how you said, like, oh, the governor has to know about this. Do they really do that busy work? Like, I'm just being like in regular life, because I would be like, yeah, the assistant take care of that. I'm not worried about that. Sign that off. Like, here's my stamp. I got better things to do. Or do they really sit there and go through this and really do it, or does their staff do this stuff?
I mean, if a daycare getting 10 milli, I mean, I would think it would raise the red flag. I'm sorry. Like, why the fuck does daycare need $10 million in a year or two?
Well, I mean, I think they know because especially in Minnesota and like Hennepin County and those 4 counties that are surrounding Hennepin County, I mean, the Somalia community is so enmeshed with the local politics. You know how many pictures of like the mayor from Minneapolis and St. Cloud take with the Somalian community leaders, also including Tim Walz? I mean, they had to have known these people live on like the quid pro quo type style. Like, you do this, I do this. I mean, he passed a law. I think I already said this week. He passed a law for vouching to make it easy. All it takes is one Minnesota person with a license to vouch for up to 8 people that do not have to show proof of ID to vote. You're not telling me he didn't do that thinking of the Somalia immigrant community because they come here, they consistently vote Democrat, and they are all in this weird elitist circle where they all protect each other. I mean, Jacob Frey is the mayor of Minneapolis. Some of his like advertisements for himself, his propaganda is in Somali. He's speaking in fucking tongues to these people so they understand. This is how deep it goes. Like, Somalians basically control Minnesota at this point in time. We're finding out.
Right.
Yeah. No,
There are
I
more
agree.
people that speak Spanish in Minnesota than Somali, but for somehow it's like the elected officials are speaking Somali but not Spanish. Like, tell me how that don't make no sense. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a
fishy.
bigger conspiracy, but I won't talk about it because Gray doesn't like them. So, nevertheless, we are taking phone calls 407-602-8114. Please hit *67 when you call in so your number's not on the screen. But yeah, we are accepting calls. We have our last topic of the night. Gray was going to cover
Hey,
this. but it
crack,
was just-
crack rock hound, you fucking call in then. Talk about this an argument from ignorance. Call in.
Yeah, so call in. So, yeah, so the other topic is, are we taking Greenland? There's supposedly a congressional vote coming up. You know, we're talking about it. Let's talk about it. But leading up to are we taking Greenland? I don't know if you guys know, today Congress voted, majority voted this. Let's watch.
The yeas are 52, the nays are 47. The motion is agreed to. The joint resolution will be placed on the calendar. Under the previous order,
So pretty much we voted that President Trump can't make any more moves or aggressions in Venezuela without Congress's approval. Mia, what was your thoughts on that vote today?
Hold on. What were they voting on? I was busy today. I didn't even look. I'm sorry.
So,
What were they voting on?
pretty much President Trump can't make any more strikes on Venezuela without congressional approval.
I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. He's going to do what he wants. I mean, he is the commander in chief. Obviously, we have checks and balances for a reason. And I mean, did it pass? Because for the most part, Congress does what he says, or was this just the Senate deciding what they want to do?
It passed Congress. Yeah, it passed Congress.
Oh, okay.
Moved to the Democrat side and sided with the Democrats on this.
Oh, are those the same people that the list came out that Venezuela was paying? Have we looked at the list of Venezuela? Maduro was paying a lot of our congressional members. Have we looked at those yes votes and done the graph to see? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at this point in time, we have started the domino effect, so we need to finish it. So, I mean, they're kind of dumb. We can't leave Venezuela hanging in the wind, in the weeds at this point in time. So it just seems kind of dumb to not finish what we started. So I think they're idiots.
So
We got to finish what we started.
I'll tell you the Republicans: Rand Paul, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Todd Young, and Josh Hawley, the normal suspects that go against the
Oh, you mean the Democrats? They're Republicans, but they're fucking Democrats.
So sorry, it was a Senate vote, my bad. But still, that's pretty big that they did that. Yeah, so that's the first thing that happened. To the other thing everyone's talking about, Trump is supposedly going to give $10,000 or $10,000 to $100,000 to Greenland citizens to get them to leave and side with him. This clip explains why we think he might be doing that.
Seems pretty obsessed with Greenland. But this isn't the first time the Arctic has been in the geopolitical spotlight, and Trump isn't even the first president to try and control the island. Time for some history.
Beware of the ice.
During World War II, Nazi Germany invaded and occupied Denmark.
The whole country was in their hands within 24 hours.
Greenland at that point was a Danish colony, so America deployed troops to secure the island before the Nazis could reach it.
Victory in Europe brought wild rejoicing.
At the end of the war, a liberated Denmark retook control of the island, but US troops stayed. In 1946, President Truman offered Denmark $100 million in gold, worth about $1 billion today, to buy the island.
Enemy jet bombers coming in over the Arctic wastelands would be able to attack without detection.
I'll bring you in after the clip, okay?
Denmark rejected the offer outright. During the Cold War, Greenland's strategic importance was amplified because of the GI-UK gap, the crucial naval choke point formed by the waters between Greenland, Iceland, and the UK. NATO, which included the US, feared that Soviet submarines would use this gap to access the North Atlantic and target mainland America and Europe. So the US constructed over a dozen military installations in Greenland, including early warning systems and radar to detect Soviet aircraft, submarines navigating near the island, or missiles flying over the Arctic. Ultimately, the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 led to a period of reduced Arctic tension and the neglect of these facilities. But for the last decade, Russia has been rapidly expanding its military presence in the region. And right now, America's only operating base in the Arctic, outside of Alaska, is the Bidufik Space Base, originally called Thule Air Base and built in 1943.
Lots of people took their eye off the ball. They mothballed their bases. And then as Russia began to surge back, everyone's been playing catch up.
All of this has Western military experts worried, and Trump's got a plan. But who will win the race to control one of the strategically most important places on the planet? Watch our full explainer on the Arctic on YouTube.
Before anyone answers, we actually do have a caller. So shout out to the caller. 1 second. I'm going to bring him in. Oops. Can you go ahead, Free? Thank you for calling in.
Hey, this is Free Mind American. Good evening, y'all.
Yo, what's good, bro?
What's going on?
How's it going?
Hey, my pleasure. I just wanted to say thank y'all for always having a wonderful, amicable discussion. What's going on, y'all?
Not
Well,
much,
thank-
bro.
Good.
Thank you for watching and calling in. Did you want to comment on the Greenland thing, or did you want to comment on Minnesota?
You know, I want to comment on the Greenland thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's my feel on that. We've been protecting it for quite a long time. We've spent billions and billions of dollars. That money comes from American citizens. Our prices are going up. The money keeps going out. Prices keep going up. People's lives are falling apart. Wives are leaving their husbands because they can't get the life that they wanted because it's too tough. Denmark should just give it to us for years and years and years and years and years and years of money being spent to protect it. We are the de facto army of the entire NATO. And that's just how I feel about that.
The team is shaking their head. Does anyone have anything they want to add to him? Can you hear this? I know you probably can't hear on the phone, but can you hear on your side? If not, I'll tell you what they say.
For sure.
Okay, go ahead. Does anyone have anything they want to add to what he said?
Ask Free what he meant when he was saying to Gray about the conspiracy thing.
What did you mean when you said the conspiracy thing? Gray wants to know, Free.
Are you talking about the full hat?
Yeah, when you said that, I think you kind of ruffled his feathers tonight.
Here's the thing. Shout out to Gray, man. I love your freedom of thought and the fact that you bring another side to the argument. Here's my thing about that. Every time that they say this person is a conspiracy theorist, this person's that, I remember through COVID really, really pushed me towards, having an open mind towards conspiracy theorists, because one minute they said, hey, you can't get COVID if you get the vaccine. Next thing you know, they were silencing doctors who had studied this for years and years and years, wrote theses on it. And lo and behold, you can still get the virus with the vaccine. You can get the virus with 1 booster, 2 booster, 3 booster, 4 booster, until you just don't even have human DNA anymore. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they've always been kind of just progressive in their thought, that to challenge the norm and what they're seeing. And it really does open up questions, because now new media is basically conspiracy theories. Independent media is basically just conspiracy theorists just going around busting open everything. That's what I meant by that.
Thank you. That was a great answer. Gray, you have anything you want to follow up?
No, that was it. Thanks.
All right. Well, Free, we appreciate your support and we appreciate you calling in. Make sure you keep up with us. And thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a blessed night.
Appreciate it.
You too. Thank you, bro.
All right. Well, if anyone else wants to call in, 407-602-8114. All right. So, Kimberly, what you think about us buying Greenland?
I think that Donald Trump is throwing a tantrum, and the United States, but Donald Trump, at the behest of the United States and the neocons, is throwing a tantrum of a toddler that was never loved by his parents. And he's making us less safe. Imperialism does not make us more safe. The reason why we have a lot of debt is because we have to pay for these expensive wars. And the more we try to expand our hegemony, our control, the more that our debt is going to grow. We can't just go around taking over other people's countries and other land just because we think it'll pay off our debt. It's actually counterproductive. And Donald Trump, mommy and daddy love you. Okay. You are such a good boy. Okay. You are loved. You are seen. Please, please stop your little tantrum. Okay. I promise everything's going to be okay. You are safe. You are not in danger. But with your little antics, you're putting us all in grave danger. And I think we need to stop this militaristic, imperialistic, trying to control the whole world.
Hey, Kimberly, though, if you go whoop everyone's ass, do you really have to pay the debt back?
So it's actually counterproductive. So there's a Lancet study last year that said that economic sanctions alone, since I'll send you guys the exact study, I believe since 1980 has attributed to upwards of 38 million deaths, because we can't just go around the whole world extracting all of the wealth and resources from all over the world and concentrating it in this country, which, by the way, doesn't benefit the working class. It's not going to benefit anybody on this panel. It's not going to benefit the regular Americans. It's only going to make the super rich a lot richer. So no, that's not considered a debt. Why do we even have all these military bases all over the world? Why do we even still have NATO? So I think we all need to not look at things through a lens of imperialism and militarism. We need to start thinking about diplomacy and inclusion and start looking at the world where the United States isn't always just this hegemonic great power, like I said, extracting wealth and resources from all over the world. That's not good for us, because not only are we killing a bunch of people all over the world, like the Lancet study, that's just economic sanctions, by the way. That's not like actual military use of force where we go around bombing the world and killing people. We are not that's why a lot of people, a lot of countries, we're creating enemies and we're making everything worse. We're not lowering the debt. We're not going to lower our debt by expanding militarism. Militarism is expensive.
So I got a question for Kamal. Kamal, what do you think about the fact that they about to give these pre-reparations to these people, 10,000, 100,000, but y'all still got
pre-reparations? Hold on now. Wait a goddamn minute. Who the hell is getting? Say that again.
They're thinking of giving $10,000 to $100,000 payments to citizens of Greenland to convince them to want to succeed from Denmark to come and be in American territory.
I mean, I wouldn't call that pre-reparations. You feel me? Because they ain't. Have they fucked up Greenland yet?
Well,
No?
they're going to. They're going to take their resources and they're going to use the trade route. See, this is all about the trade route.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Pre-reparations. Yeah. They pay before they fuck some shit up. God damn. Hey, I'm gonna let y'all Greenland motherfuckers know something right now. They say they gonna pay you, but they ain't about to pay you shit. I'm telling you right now, they gonna renege on the deal. All right, I'll let you know. Listen to me, your foundational Black American brother. All right, they gonna renege on the deal. They gonna be like, yeah, we gonna sign a contract to you $10,000. And as soon as your ass come to America, they gonna null and void that shit. It's gonna be contract ripped up. So I'm just saying.
Enzo, I'm sure I know the answer, but for our audience and everyone listening, why is this beneficial for Americans? I'll let you say it.
So, I mean, it's beneficial for a lot of things. Like Truman wanted he wanted Greenland back in the 40s because of the threat of the Nazis are coming to our shores. We are in a Cold War 2.0 with Russia as well as China, and by taking the Venezuelan oil, and to be completely blunt honest with you, after looking into anything, I want the United States in Venezuela for as long as possible, if not forever, so we can control the world market and we can collapse both of them without even putting a troop anywhere. And if we don't, that's why I'm happy with taking Greenland. We control the whole Arctic Circle. We've known since the Cold War that the Russians were using the Arctic Circle, having submarines over there waiting for the go, just like how we had Operation Chrome Dome with B-52s circling the Soviet Union with nuclear bombs. They had subs off our coast with nuclear weapons aimed at us, ready to go. It is strategic for military uses, absolutely. Not even just for the resource. I could care less about the resources. I want us to be safe here, because war at the end of the day is not just about who can unalive the most. It's about logistics. How can we starve out our enemy? That's why the Soviets were so fucking good in World War II, is because of logistics. Same thing with the Americans, logistics. We won the Pacific because we won the logistics game. How is anybody else going to ever touch our coast when we got 2 oceans separating us from mainland Europe and mainland Asia? How are they going to get over there if they don't have the resources? How are we going to get over here if we put a chokehold on one of the routes to get over here, one of the closest routes to get here? Because the only other one is right through Alaska, and good luck getting through the wilderness over there and then getting through Canada into the United States. Other than that, you got to go through the oceans. It's strategic for multiple ways, as a chokehold as well as deterrent, because we will have eyes and ears and everything over there, and with them we will have the territorial waters, so they would not be able to be in those waters at all without informing us, submarines, and they would still detect that. So it's strategic, and I agree with it, especially with the route that we're going with China building up their military, and their goal is to go into Taiwan in 27. Russia's going to back them. We're going to get dragged into that if that ever happens. So This needs to be done now, or it's just going to be a headache for everybody.
Yeah. I have one final clip, and in our closing thoughts, we can say if we think we should own Greenland, to play off of what Gray did last night. Here we go.
Donald Trump reasserted in the new year that the United States wants Greenland.
We need Greenland from a national security situation.
Trump said a newly appointed special envoy would lead the charge, drawing sharp criticism from Denmark and Greenland. Let's take a look at why Trump is interested in the vast Arctic territory. Greenland is strategically significant for the U.S. military. The shortest route from Europe to North America runs through it.
It's so pretty.
The U.S. has said it wants to expand its existing military presence on the island. That includes placing radars to watch waters in the region used by Russian Navy vessels and nuclear submarines.
Chief Key said we're going to blow New Jersey up. I'm with you.
Covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
Shipping data show most Chinese and Russian activity in the Arctic is in waters near Russia. But more broadly, the Arctic is becoming more militarized, with NATO states, China and Russia all expanding activity there. The island is also rich in minerals, oil and natural gas, though development has been slow and mining has seen very limited U.S. investment. Legally, Greenland is a territory of Denmark, which is a NATO member. In 2009, it was granted broad self-governing autonomy. That includes the right to declare independence from Denmark through a referendum. Polls show most of Greenland's 57,000 inhabitants back independence, but they're worse off and expose the island to the US. The US military has a permanent presence in an airbase in northwest Greenland. In 1951, the US and Denmark made an agreement. It gave the US the right to move around freely and construct military bases on the island as long as Denmark and Greenland are notified. Trump offered to buy the island during his first presidential term, a move Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen called absurd. In late 2025, Trump named a special envoy to Greenland, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, who publicly backs the idea of the island becoming part of the US. Frederiksen has since said Denmark wants to continue being a good ally of the US, while also saying that Trump's threats should be taken seriously. In a joint statement pushing back on Trump, Xi and Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen said Greenland belongs to Greenlanders, saying, quote, "You cannot annex another country, not even with an argument about international security."
All right, guys, this was a great episode. I'm gonna allow ladies to go first. Mia, what's your closing thoughts, and should we own Greenland?
I'm not saying we need to own Greenland, but I am saying we need to be essentially the governors of Greenland at this point in time. Russia has an astronomical amount of bases that are right in front, only a matter of miles away from Greenland, Canada, and the United States. And at this point in time, it would be wonderful if we could all get along and live cohesively. But at the end of the day, Russians want to eliminate us just as much as we want to eliminate them. The Chinese want to get rid of us just as much as we want to get rid of them. The Chinese view the Arctic Circle and just like the Arctic as their next Silk Road. So the big three are trying to corner this way, these trade routes and whatnot. And to be honest, if it's not us, it's them. And I'd rather it be us because I want to fucking survive. As selfish that is, I want to survive. So whatever we need to do in order to propagate the continuation of the United States, I'm down for. So at minimum, we need to be governing or in control of Greenland, and we also need to be in control of South America. Because like I said, if it's not us, it's them. And we see what the Chinese do with the air internment camps, and we've seen what the Russians do with their camps. I'm just saying you want us to win.
Damn, drops the mic. All right, Kim. All right, I'm gonna tell you. I can't wait to hear your answer because the other lefty on the panel last night, she was the only lone one that gave one particular answer. And I know you don't like the Democrats, but it was your girl, Skeptic. I can't wait to hear yours.
Oh wait, what did Skeptic say as to what?
Should we govern Greenland? Should we take it?
No, we should not. Did she
She
say
gave
yes?
the same answer as you.
Oh, okay.
She was the lone no.
Yeah. Well, if there must be a prevailing superpower, we're not going to get it by use of force. Might does not make right. My favorite book, I've said it ad nauseum by now, 1984. I'm reluctant to call it a fictional novel. Talks about doublethink. War is peace is a complete farce. That isn't going to make us any safer. Why is China our enemy? They own a lot of our debt. We have a trade agreement with them. We're the ones instigating havoc, lawlessness, and chaos all over the fucking world because we insist on maintaining our hegemony, which we are going to lose because we are creating enemies all over the world, which I said is disastrous. We're killing people with our economic sanctions. We're killing people with our warfare, and killing people is not okay. Like, that's not going to make us any safer. It's expensive. That's not how we're going to pay off our debt. And then also really quickly, Truman dropped 2 atomic bombs. It's not somebody we should look up to. And then also, just to quote my Lord and Savior Jesus, who is all-knowing, omniscient, omnipowerful, he said, love your enemy. And this whole politics, like I said, might makes right, is completely counterproductive. It's expensive. It's not making us safe. And me, unlike my other friends, irrespective of your political affiliation, identity, race, color, creed, national origin, or anything that you stand for, I don't think anybody deserves to die, especially at the hands of the police. And I encourage us all to, I'm pretty sure we've all read 1984. It is a great analogy for history, which just happens to repeat itself over and over again. And if we don't see past the tribal, partisan politics, we're never really going to coalesce in a group, in like the class struggle that is the real class struggle. In the meantime, all of this is a distraction. So I just want to pull it all back to like I said, it's us against them, and the majority of us aren't in their big bad club, and we're not going to profit off of all of the money that they're going to make by their continued and murderous and disastrous imperialism all over the world.
Well, that's why you know things, because you got the discernment of the Lord, Kimberly. Enzo, you're welcome. Enzo, what's your closing thoughts?
So my closing thoughts were, this was a great episode. We talked a lot about a lot of all these current events that are going on that is just distractions from a lot of things. I'm going to go back to what happened in Minnesota for a second. Guys, don't cause the problem and then play victim. Don't start all of this and then act like you guys never did anything. That's the biggest issue that we have, is that we have these Democratic lawmakers, we have these Democratic supporters, we have the people on the left, even though let me not call all people on the left Democrats. You know how that goes sometimes. Flip out, crash out about any little thing that this administration does, but you guys refuse to see the good that can come out of this. You guys are bitching and complaining about immigrants. You guys are bitching and complaining about Venezuela, which is crazy to me, because no kings, no dictator, but let's free a dictator. Free Maduro. He didn't deserve that, but yeah, no kings, right? We need Greenland, or we need to be in Venezuela to deter our enemies. At the end of the day, I'd rather use economic form of deterring our enemies so they cannot advance and plot against the United States altogether. I don't understand why this is that's a partisan issue. I thought we want best for America, that we would want our enemies to actually not want to wage war with us and to do things the proper way. But hey, some people's heads are screwed on a little too tight, and then some people just have no brain in their head to begin with. So with that being said, this was great. Everybody have a great weekend.
In the words of Donald Trump, go in peace, Enzo.
I don't know what peace is sometimes.
Huh?
So I don't know what peace is sometimes. It's kind
We're
of hard
gonna be at
nowadays.
We're gonna look. The future's bright. We're about to have the 250th year anniversary. Come on, what's your closing thoughts?
All right. Shout out to everybody on the panel. You feel me? Y'all go follow everybody. Everybody got their own YouTube or their own TikTok that they run content on. Also, I have the new party pinned to the top of my chat. Y'all go follow the new party and also hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. Also, if you want to come over to my end, Kamal Johnson Network, hit your bird with a sub, hit that notification bell too. I'll also go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. First off, just comply. I mean, shit, we hear that all the goddamn time as Black Americans. So just comply. Everything be all right, right? Tennis ball head Tim Waltz most definitely knew the fraud shit was happening in Minnesota, alongside with Amy Bach and the rest of them big head ass Somalians. Do we need Greenland? Hell yeah. Fuck that. I can't have America lose now. The motherfucker still owe us money. Hell no. All that fight we've been talking about trying to get our money and shit, for us to lose to China or Russia, fuck that. Take over Greenland. Now, I don't know to give them $10,000 or $100,000 to come over to goddamn America. We got too many damn immigrants over here anyway. So fuck all that. You feel me? Can we figure out a way to keep their ass over there in them icy goddamn Greenlands and still take over that shit? What can billions say, right? Hey, this is empire game. Shit. I want America to fucking win. The hell? Shit. Hell no. We want Greenland, Iceland, mini lands. I don't give a damn land. As long as America wins so that motherfucker can pay us, goddammit. All right? And if they gonna go in Venezuela and take all that oil, shit, if I see my price go to $2 in California, I'm sorry to say, man, shit. I know I know some people got people out there that might have their little ones go to war and shit like that. You feel me? And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. But damn, have y'all Y'all know how we will lose our fucking mind? Kimberly, you know we'll lose our mind if we saw gas is $2.99. Man, shit to go crazy.
Y'all gas is more than $2.99?
Our gas is like $5.
Oh, our gas is $2.61 right now.
Well, it's like ours is like $3.99 or something over here. The cheapest one is like $3.99. Man, there's gas over here in parts of San Diego that's like I've seen that's like $5.50, $6. So gas is crazy over here in Cali. But yeah, shout out to the chat too. Actually, I wanted to give some air horns. A couple people super chatted. Enzo super chatted. The other guy super chatted. Air horns to the caller that called in. Appreciate you. And yeah, I don't got really. Well, I got one motherfucker in the chat. I'm a clown. Omar Sassy nigga. I guess I'll read your comment because you keep crying and shit. Read my comment. Why you ain't reading the facts? Okay, and that's probably how you sound. Denmark is paying $5 billion yearly to Greenland. Now what? Now I read one of your fucking comments. Shut the fuck up, man. Goddamn. Anyway, everybody else and everybody else on the panel, have a lovely weekend. I appreciate y'all.
Great closing thoughts, Kamal.
No, we should not get Greenland. It's not gonna be fun when a rabbit has the gun. When people are getting together to come out the United States, the European countries are already intelligence agencies are not giving us information because they view us as a threat. And as far as the soldiers, I just talked to my friend recently, and he was talking about that he's worried about going to sick call because they might kick him out because of Pete Hegseth's new physical demands on soldiers. So I definitely don't want people to go die for money, die for gas, die for oil. We've done that way too many times. And I do feel like we're going to get a lot of backlash from this, and the foreign and domestic policy from this administration is probably going to set us back decades. Like we always say on a new party, always vote.
Oh man, jeez, the Dems, they always gotta like bring the mood down. Like, come on, USA, USA. Greenland wants to say it. I promise you that. But nevertheless, shout out to everybody that gave us super chats, that hit the like button. Shout out to the New Party team, to Gray, Kamal, Kimberly, Mia, Enzo. Thank you guys for coming. I'm gonna start a new thing where we read the super chats again. So thank you for your support. Who done it said make Insane Asylum's great again because we played crash outs earlier. Enzo said Dems are broken, have brain damage. So thank you guys for the super chat. And shout out to Free Mind for calling in. It was nice to have you call in. We appreciate you, and we're nothing without the fans, so we appreciate you guys. And I want to close by saying this. Clearly, I love America. I believe in this country and its people, and in the idea that we are stronger, united together than we are divided. I am for peaceful protest, guys, but peaceful protest is an American right. Violence, chaos, and hate only serves as distractions, right? The topic of the show tonight was distractions, and distractions are exactly what keep the real problems hidden. While we're fighting each other, corruption goes unchallenged, okay, and fraud goes exposed or unexposed. And as you can see, while these protests are happening and they unalive that American citizen, we have hearings going on for Minnesota governor to not be held accountable, in my opinion. They're just trying to distract us. But we cannot lose focus, guys. America first doesn't mean America alone. It means putting the well-being of everyday Americans first. It means demanding accountability, exposing fraud wherever it exists, and refusing to be manipulated by narratives designed to divide us by race, politics, or ideology. And at the end of the day, we are neighbors, we are families, we are workers trying to build a better future for our children. And that requires unity, clarity, and love for one another and when we disagree. So let's stay united, let's stay focused, let's choose truth over chaos, peace over violence, and love over hate. That's how we protect this country, and that's how we move America forward. God bless you guys. God bless the United States of America, and God bless the New Party team.